here so we can take a look exactly at what happened here at this stage. Just let me know when that's ready. Here we go. Here it is. And there you see it there. This particular clip did not have the audio. We will get that for you so we can go back through and you can hear it. But that was when the... Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
And you'll see here in a moment the Secret Service is trying to lock things down. And former president will get up here and momentarily and give an indication to the crowd that he's okay. And yeah, and actually you just hear that in that audio, guys. Let's go. I'm going to bring in, I've got CBN's Chuck Holton with me now, and I also have CBN's David Brody as well to get reaction here to what we know so far. And actually, that's the first time, and we'll go back through this again and play to get the audio from the beginning. But actually, you just hear one of the authorities in that clip saying, "Shoot her down." And I had not noticed that the first time that I went through this clip. So, Chuck, I'll start with you. What is your reaction to this? I know you've had a chance to review the clip.
Lester, they sure are, and President Biden condemning this in the strongest terms possible, which is what you would anticipated. He has long condemned political violence. He said this is unheard of. Everybody must condemn it. He did say he had tried to speak with the former president, whom he referred to as Donald. He also noted, Lester, that he is receiving thorough, robust briefings from his national security team, from his federal agencies, and that will undoubtedly continue throughout the night. The White House will undoubtedly need to keep the public informed throughout the night. It comes, as you point out, as they have pulled down and are working to pull down all of their ads, as the Trump campaign is in a media blackout. And it speaks to, Lester, the seriousness of this moment, the gravity of this moment, the fact that, quite frankly, something has just shifted in our American politics, in our country. This act of political violence, which, as the president said, cannot and will not be tolerated. And it does come as everyone is preparing to go to Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention, another event that will be met with heavy security. The perimeter there will be quite strong, quite...
So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are you worried for your own safety? Was the security failing, Mr. President?
President Biden wrapping up his remarks there. We still have standing by Andrew Kraft and Hal Kempfer both. We have some information in from Jackie Heinrich saying that shooter killed by Secret Service counter sniper team. 2 additional casualties taken to Pittsburgh Hospital, Fox has told per law enforcement source. We know that Butler, Pennsylvania is about an hour's drive north of Pittsburgh. And before we were listening in to the president, Andrew, I believe you were discussing some of the politics surrounding this.
Well, that's also so true, Austin, that you heard there from President Biden, who said that he tried to reach former President Trump and that hopefully the two will speak eventually. We know the former president is still at the hospital recovering. We're hearing he's in good spirits, but President Biden, his key political rival, did reach out as well. We're hearing from former presidents too, former President George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama, all issuing statements as well. But there are so many questions about what happened there at the rally. We have Hal Kempfer on, who has extensive experience with counterterrorism law enforcement. Hal, you yourself have worked in trainings with Secret Service officials. I want to read the statement in from the Secret Service spokesperson. His name is Anthony Guglielmi. They say this: an incident occurred the evening of July 13th at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania. The Secret Service has implemented protective measures and former president is safe. This is now an active Secret Service investigation, and further information will be released when available. We also know the FBI and the ATF are cooperating and assisting with this law enforcement investigation. But we also know, according to sources, this is being, Hal, described as an attempted assassination attempt. We just got that news in from Jackie Heinrich there that the suspect, the shooter in this, who is now dead, was taken out by members of a Secret Service task force there on the ground in Butler, PA here. Hal, what do you make of those developments? Because the Secret Service's role in all this and their response, very quick. We watched it there on the stage. They huddled around the former president, tackled him, got him to safety here. What do you make of the Secret Service's response right now, knowing they took out the shooter? Do you have questions about how they went about this, Hal?
Actually, it looks like it was a standard playbook how they do it. Now that we know that it was a counter sniper that took him out, I'd like to revise something. We have more details.
Okay.
All right. Initially, it was thought maybe this could be somebody who was in close. Maybe it could be a small caliber weapon. If it was a counter sniper that took out whoever the shooter was, it could be the shooter was further out. And again, this goes to sound. The audio is tough to pick up when we're doing it, indirectly here because we aren't physically there. So it could have been that it could have been a little bit further standoff than, say, using a small arm like a pistol. We will find out. Could be the counter sniper took out somebody standing right by the stage. That's possible too. But it does open up the possibility that this could have been something with a little bit longer range weapon. I wouldn't rule that out at this point. If it was a counter sniper that took him out, and that's what they do. They look around. They're constantly scanning the area to find out if there's a potential threat out there. Of course, once rounds are fired, they zero in on that very quickly to eliminate the threat, which is exactly what they did.
Two dead and one other person in a critical condition.
Yeah, it clearly seems like something fairly horrific has gone wrong there. I was reflecting earlier that these events, you can't simply walk off the street and go in without any checks being done. They're usually subject to everyone in these audience to airport-style security measures. So there would usually be the airport-style scanners. There would also usually be limits on the amount of luggage that you can take or baggage that you can take into these events. You're usually only allowed a very small purse inside, but it does seem like someone has been able to breach these security protocols certainly today. So I think there will be obviously an examination of the security around the former president. As I mentioned earlier, he is followed everywhere, accompanied everywhere he goes by a Secret Service detail. It is something that's afforded to all former presidents. They all have this Secret Service detail with them throughout their lives, even after they've left office. It is a smaller Secret Service.
Fireworks. I knew it was gunshots right away. My friend, he hit the deck. I was kind of looking around just trying to see where the shots were coming from. It seemed to me like the shots were coming from behind the bleachers. It seemed to me the man got hit in the head from behind. He was killed instantly, as far as I could tell. And at that point, a state police and a SWAT team, started evacuating the bleachers, and then I helped carry the man out of the bleachers to a tent that was behind the bleachers.
You helped carry the man yourself. What was his condition when you were carrying him?
He's deceased. He died.
How close were you to him?
A couple yards. It wasn't very far.
Did you know the man?
No, it's a complete stranger. They put a towel over his head and then carried him off.
And you said there was another woman nearby who was also injured. Where was she in relation to him?
I believe she was in the bleachers, like either behind, above me, or just to the side of him. but it seemed like she was kind of up my flank, and then she flinched, and it looked like she had taken a gunshot wound to the forearm and hand.
Joseph, from where I was standing, we heard multiple gunshots, 8 to 11 shots. We've been hearing it replayed on the video here. Do you remember, can you tell, I know it was a chaotic scene, but at what point, was it immediately when you heard the gunshots that he was shot, or was it later on into the firing?
The first 7, he was hit and she was hit within the first 7 shots. I counted 7 shots.
What was going through your mind? You were right there. I know it happened so quickly, but what can you tell us about those moments?
First, I was in shock because I know what gunshots sound like, so I knew they were gunshots. I couldn't tell from where they were coming from. And when I noticed someone got hit, then I noticed, well, it seemed like they were coming from behind me, and it just was pandemonium. And then I heard some more shots, and I couldn't quite tell where they were coming from. But I counted the first 7; they were very loud and very close. And it killed one man and wounded another woman.
And Joseph, you told me that you're a doctor, you're an OBGYN. How did that background play into how quickly you were sort of able to assess the situation and know what happened to these individuals and know what was going on?
Well, I told the police, I tried to render assistance. I told the police I could render assistance. They had another physician on the EMT team, so they kind of took over. So they didn't really need me, so I kind of helped carry them down initially out of the bleachers. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't, the man that got hit, there was no assistance that needed to be given. And unfortunately, his family witnessed the whole thing. It seemed like he had several family members in the bleacher with him. And they were quite upset. They didn't know, they were in shock. They didn't quite know what was going on. But the man was definitely killed instantaneously.
Could you tell sort of how many family members or people who knew him were with him, and what was their reaction?
I thought there was 5 people. 2 of them were relatively hysterical. So, but they were, when we took the man out of the bleachers, he went to the tent. There was an aid tent or some type of tent behind the bleachers where they took the body, and they immediately evacuated the family with them. And 2 out of the 5, it seemed, in shock, hysterical. Like they were still trying to process what was going on.
Joseph, from where I was standing, we heard the shots. We saw the president go down.
Yeah, I saw President Trump get hit.
Yeah. What can you tell us? What details you remember?
It seemed like his head was off to the side, and it seemed like he got nicked in the ear.
Was that before the Secret Service took him down to the ground, covered him?
Right before the Secret Service. I mean, it was maybe, again, it's hard to tell, time dilates when, it seemed like it was a second or 2. Like that first 7 shots that went off, the man got hit. He was killed almost instantly. The woman in the bleachers, she got injured, like she got hit in the forearm and the hand. And then in those rounds that were fired, again, I was videoing the event, so that's when I saw Trump get hit. And it seemed to me like he was looking to the side and the round grazed his ear. So.
Could you tell the gentleman that was hit in the head what angle he was in relation to the former president, like which direction the bullets were coming from and to?
So it looked like he was facing the president at the very far left portion of the bleachers, so he's directly facing it. Again, it seemed to me like the shots were coming from the rear, like behind us. And for me, it seemed like the man was in the way. I guess...
In the way of the former president?
No, it seemed like the man was in the way of the shots between whoever was shooting the gun and the president. The man was hit, it seemed like he was in the crossfire.
And I know...
That's what it seemed like.
And I know you're in shock and still processing all of this. It's sort of hard to evaluate our own emotions in this moment, but you just experienced something horrific.
Yes.
What can you tell us about your state of mind right now?
Yeah, I've had opportunities to go to these rallies before. It's the first one I ever went to. I had time off to go do it. I was kind of excited to go, but it's. Everyone, it's something you don't expect. It comes out of the blue. It's like a bolt out of the blue, and it's shocking. The way politics goes in this country, it just seems like it's really polarized. Everyone's just very angry. I'm honestly shocked this didn't happen earlier. I was commenting to my friend who went to the event with me. I was like, the back behind the bleachers, it's really open. It seems like a really open venue. And it just, I got this sense that, someone really wanted to do something. And again, I was openly talking to her. And I was like, if something bad was going to be happening, this is the perfect venue to have. I just said this like an hour before it happened. I was like, this would be the perfect place to do it. And, surprisingly enough, it happened.
A devastatingly prescient observation from you. Let me ask you one more question, because from where I was, there was confusion. Then Trump stood up and there were some cheers, and then people sort of remained, those that weren't in sort of the immediate zone where you were, people were still sort of cheering, talking, trying to figure out what was going on. How quickly did you know that whether or not there was still a dangerous situation? It seemed like people sort of started to try to move on very quickly, not sure what had happened, right? So,
hey, salute, sister.
Hey, salute, sis.
Hey, what's going on with you? Hey,
oh wait, let me put my TV on pause. I mean on
hey, what's
okay.
okay.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Yep, thank you for the invitation.
Oh, no problem, my sister. I was just letting everyone listen to what happened. This was an eyewitness to the event. So we're gonna go ahead and finish listening to his account. He's almost done.
Is Major on too? Did you hear me, sis?
Yeah, so welcome back again to News, Facts, and Comments in conjunction with MajorTv. I am pleased to welcome our sister DD co-hosting this day with me here this day. We are breaking news with former President Donald Trump being grazed in the ear by shots that was fired at a presidential rally in Pennsylvania. So this just happened today. This is breaking news. Let's go ahead and do it that way. Shalom, sister. Go ahead and talk to me. How you feeling today?
Oh, I'm good, sis. I'm good.
What do you think about what happened at that rally in Pennsylvania with former President Donald Trump?
You know what, sis? I had just gotten the news, and I didn't know anything about it until I got a call from my brother, and he mentioned it. So, man, it's, nothing is ever shocking to me anymore. You hear me?
Yeah.
No. But I tell you this much, we already talked about the movie Civil War. Man, right around the corner. It's too much going on right now since people are all over the place. So something's bound to happen because of the way things are going in our current situation with the our current, president, so to speak. So, yeah, nothing surprises me anymore, especially at this point.
So, what do you think is going to happen in regards to campaign trail or the presidential election? Do you think that this event is going to encourage more of MAGA to come out and be more vocal with their conservative right-wing rhetoric? Be more forceful, boots on the ground, in your face kind of thing. I've been seeing a horrible trend on TikTok where these white people, I'm not going to say YT, I'm going to say white people or Caucasians or Europeans, those people of those persuasions, they are being really bold with telling people to just leave and go back to Africa, go back to Mexico, and leave this country. This is America, and this and that. You know, do you think they're going to be way emboldened now because someone has dared to take a strike, shoot a shot at their esteemed president?
Right. Huh. Well, I say this, sis. You know, first and foremost, that go back to Africa BS. Most of our people are already here, so they need to be re-educated, okay? Because those people that saying that are the same ones who believe that Christopher Columbus discovered this land, okay? Excuse me. And I want to say this too. A lot of, you know, as far as Trump, I mean, sis, with all of the, you know, the in and out of courts, it wasn't he, and I don't keep up with really any of the political side of things as it pertains to the presidential stuff. I don't. But I'm asking you really quickly. Didn't Trump end up, don't he have felonies or something? Wasn't he guilty of something?
Yeah, 34 felony counts was levied against him. However, he's appealing those convictions, right? He has not been sentenced yet. And also with the recent Supreme Court ruling and basically giving him immunity, a lot of those charges may be thrown out.
A lot. But was he convicted of any?
Yes, he was convicted on 34 felony counts.
Okay, so he's convicted. So what
but I do believe, I don't, if I can recall, that had to do with the Stormy Daniels case. So that case, you know, it all depends on what he did, what transactions he made while he was president. If he made any of those transactions which resulted in any of those felonies while he was president, he may get off on those. However, if he did any of those transactions prior to him becoming president, those will still have to be appealed. They're not going to be thrown out, and he still will be, you know, held as, you know, convicted on those.
Right.
So the appeal is going to be very, very important to determine whether or not he goes to jail on any of those charges. Now, any of the other pending state or federal charges they have out there from the DA's office, we don't know how that's going to play out because of this new Supreme Court ruling giving him immunity for any actions that he did while he was president.
Okay, well, sis, following a conviction, don't you supposed to be handcuffed to go through that door and hauled off to prison? I mean, I'm just asking.
I
thought that's how it worked.
Well, I mean, I think that's at the judge's discretion at the time. If the attorney, I believe, files a motion for you to have bond. Remember, I think he had a bond or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not an attorney.
Right.
But
of course.
I know that you can be out of jail while awaiting your appeal or while awaiting sentencing.
But meanwhile he's running for president? Come on.
That's how it is when you have money. Money buys you privilege. That's what you call white privilege. They have all their rights, all the rights afforded to them. Unlike our brother Ozone, you know,
right?
He has what you call the wrong skin color for the right connections, right?
Right.
He don't have the complexion for the connection. So therefore, and then since you have to understand too, do they really consider us to be full citizens with full rights when we go before these courts?
Right. knowing good and damn well this country is ran by foreigners. We are under a foreign entity, sis. This government is foreign, okay? Because these people are not from here. So that part.
Exactly. So, but I really wouldn't even consider it a government. I think it's a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
I also think it's a corporation that's running the Ponzi scheme.
Yep, it is. Yep.
And the so-called election is you just electing the person that's going to run the corporation or be the face of the corporation.
Right.
The spokesperson for the corporation.
Right.
But they just tried to take a former president out. You think this has anything to do with Project 2025?
Man. Yeah, it could be. It could be, sis. Yep. Or yeah, definitely. Or it could just be another distraction. Who knows? Yeah. Excuse the noise.
So you think he was president? You think he was? Because it grazed his ear, right?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. So that's going for the head. Look like to me, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
That's interesting.
It is.
Very interesting.
Yep, it is.
So that's what we have. It is breaking news. I wanted to get Biden's comments. I came in on the end part of the report. He just gave some comments. He just made some comments. So I'm gonna try to look and see.
Okay.
One second, Dee. Keep talking, Dee.
Okay. Yep, shalom family out there that's tuned in on my sis channel. I'm glad you can be here and looking forward to others coming on the board after the live is over. So always tune in to our dear sister Achoti Speaks. On her news, facts, and comments, okay? Yes, great sister to collaborate with. You know, very thankful to have her on board. So you back, sis, huh?
Yeah, thank you so much for that, sister.
You're welcome.
Just got a call coming in. But yeah, like I was saying, I wanted to get that, see if somebody else put up what Biden had to say in regards to the shooting. You know, he is the sitting president after all. So
yeah,
let's see what he has. I'm gonna pull it up, I'm sure.
I'm gonna tell you my true thought on this. If he would have ended up deleted Trump, man, I don't know, sis. This is just my thought, okay? My personal opinion. A lot of people support Trump. You hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
They might have been looking, if something would have happened to where, like I said, he was deleted, we may be headed for a whole nother insurrection. Who knows? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay, so I got it. I think I got it here for us. Hold on. Yeah, I got it in there. Let's go ahead and play that.
Okay. Oh, sis, he's muted. Hey, sis.
Cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And
I got you. Hold on. Let me
I
run
want
it
to
back.
thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that
Let's
are
run it back.
engaged.
Run it back. Sorry about that, y'all.
Thanks for coming, folks. I've been thoroughly briefed by all the agencies in the federal government as to the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that the people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to can be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I'm able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. So far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do, okay? I don't know enough I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
So yeah, there we have it. There we have it.
Yeah.
You know, Didi, I'm listening to this guy here, and he said something that's so unbelievable. Is what he said. Is that he said political violence in America is something that is unheard of. It's something like this is unheard of. You have to be kidding me. Are you kidding me? You never heard of political violence?
Come on,
what about President Kennedy? Was he not assassinated? Was that not on a political kill?
Come on,
right?
sis.
All right.
Even our Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Was that not a political kill?
Malcolm X.
Right.
We can go on and on, sis.
Exactly. So I don't know why he's acting as if this is such a shock to him. And so that goes to the greater point was, is this a staged event? Did they know this was going to happen? Is this part of that rile the American people up so we can get this civil war going prior to the election?
Exactly. And two, sis, if I can say this, a lot of our people are waking up. This may just be a big old, distraction, because a lot of our people is waking up, and then it's a lot of our people that's still asleep. But most importantly, folks are starting to wake up. They are. So this may be a distraction, because a lot of our people are into entertainment. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it's questionable, and hopefully we'll find out the truth, soon. But I don't believe in somebody, getting taken out and all that other stuff or whatever. I'll leave my little personal comments to myself in terms of, other things I want to say. However, as far as Trump, hey, God bless it. I mean, it's, to end up, if it did happen, to end up damn near bullet to your head, that's pretty deep. Yeah.
That's pretty deep. It's going to make some people who really damn near worship this man, that's going to make them feel a certain kind of way. And right now, a lot of people are so in their feelings with any little thing that you say about them, let alone happen to them. I just don't know what it's going to feel like in the halls of corporate America
Man,
for our people
right.
tomorrow morning.
Mm.
I mean, not tomorrow morning, Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Monday morning, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to play out. You know, I'm very grateful that, you know, to see that, you know, President Biden came out and made that strong statement that he condemned the violence, right? But to go so far as to say it's unheard of, you know, I think that was unreal. So that's my part on that, my sister. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that, you know, we have to be seeing this and talking about this in this time, but it's just giving us heads up, even though we don't have a dog in this fight per se.
Yep.
It's giving us heads up as to what the atmosphere around us is going to look like, what we have to, you know, look to, right? Keep our heads on the swivel, protect your families, and then protect each other.
Absolutely, sis.
And so before I get out of here, sis, I just want to say that I do appreciate you with all the work that you've been doing with the Otho Wallace Legal Defense Fund. I just want to thank you so much. And for everyone that's tuning in now, please go to otho.org, read Otho Wallace story, donate to the Platt Legal Defense Fund that's organized for Otho Wallace, and he's now appealing his case. His brief has been filed. Go to otho.org. Our sister Dee Dee is a staunch supporter of our brother Otho Wallace, and the fight and the resistance continues. Each one help one, and we all will see freedom.
Well, sis, I have to say something before you finish, okay? I have to say this. Sis, I appreciate you more. You know, no matter if people are supporting our brother, if they stop supporting him and all the back and forth, you have been standing 10 toes down, sis. You have never abandoned our brother, and I'm right there with you, sis. So, yeah, I just want to say that, you know, and just outside of just the ozone thing, you know, I appreciate your content. You hear me?
No problem, sis. I appreciate you tuning in and listening and being a supporter. If we don't support each other, then who else is there to support? So I'm just I give all praise to the Most High that I'm able to bring the content to the people to educate them, not just, you know, that you see my face on the camera, but for you to have an opportunity to learn something that I've learned, and I'm just sharing what I've learned, not keeping it to myself. In that way, our people cannot perish for lack of knowledge, because I'm trying to give them that knowledge is for them to pick it up and, you know, use it to their advantage. If they choose to, is there for them to take. Knowledge and you know, knowledge is free to give to those who want to receive it, and I just want to give it.
And on that note, you are well appreciated, sis. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Dee Dee. So with that being said, once again, this is News, Facts, and Comments in conjunction with MajorTv. We were reporting a breaking news story. former President Donald Trump was grazed in the ear by a bullet at a rally in Pennsylvania today, and he appears to be okay. They're reporting that the shooter is dead, and maybe 2 other people may have been injured. So this is breaking news. I thank y'all for tuning in. Please give us a like, share the video, and subscribe if you have not. Thank you for watching, and we say we love you all with the love of Yahuwah. Take care of yourself and each other. Shalom.